YouTube audience. We're back. Exterminate! That is my new text tone, so do not get worried. There is no Dalek in here. If you are a person who knows about the Daleks. Okay, so I'm about to do this real quick and do my best I can because I haven't done one of these in a while. Let's get started here. I want to say hello. Welcome back to another video. And thank you for watching the Shadowcast, the podcast discussing all things hidden in the shadows, whether you're watching this live or watching the playback. Today I want to talk about asexuality. So, un momento while I get started on the recording. Hello. Welcome back to the Shadowcast, the podcast discussing all things hidden in the shadows. I am the living shadow. And let's talk about what living in the shadow is like, okay? Today I want to talk about asexuality. Sorry, I'm adjusting the microphone. I need to bring this one down lower so you can see me talking to it. There's a little microphone. You see my messy apartment. It's not that messy. It's just that there's stuff right there because I'm trying to go somewhere. Okay. Asexuality. This is gonna be. I'm gonna try and make this quick, but I also want to express my own views on asexuality because asexuality has become what LGBT kind of used to be, in a sense, to me. Because to me, if you were any type of differently sexually attracted person, as in like you weren't attracted to, if you weren't like a cisgendered person attracted to the opposite sex, heterosexual, then a lot of times you got someone underneath the LGBT umbrella. Okay. Asexual, there's LGBTQIA plus. That would be like the A. Queer is the Q, and I'm gonna be very honest with you. I do not know what the I is for. So the I today is gonna be for information, because so we can get some information about some of this stuff. Because I want to tell y'all some information, and hopefully y'all can hear me because I just moved away from the microphone. I'm not used to this little setup here, so. Leave comments on the YouTube channel, the Shadowcast podcast on YouTube. You can watch the video there if you actually want to see the video. Also, you can go to my website, thelivingshadow.me. You can always email me, thelivingshadow@thelivingshadow.me. Or you can check out my things. So, I'm going to do a quick side note for marketing for a second before I get into the episode, because I spent a lot of time trying to get my stuff on Etsy, and I want to get my stuff on Amazon, but Amazon's a little rough for me. But I got my stuff on Etsy, and I'm trying to not walk, because lately I've been walking and talking. So I'm trying not to do that either. Bear with me, you guys, okay? For those who don't know, I am a version of asexual, which is the reason why I wanted to do this. And the reason why I don't like this table is not because of that, but because of the simple fact that it's too low. Okay, there we go. If I sit here, I'm down out of the shot, but whatever. I'm trying to get comfortable while doing this, and I don't know if there's a way for me to get comfortable while doing this in my current form. Okay, so asexuality is when you have little to no sexual attraction or sexual desire, which basically means you don't have sex, or you're not to say that you're not a freak, because some people can be freaky when they do have sex because they want to please other people. But it's just to say that you're not like, your mind doesn't go straight to the gutter. That's the best way I can probably describe it. Like, you know, some people think about like sexual innuendos, sexual thoughts. Your mind probably doesn't go there. May or may not have them, but it doesn't specifically go for it and say, "Oh my gosh, the most sex. I have to think the most sexual thing possible at all times." No. Um, that can be really rough in the world that is very much based on sex. I'm sure everybody's already heard sex sells. And if you give me one moment, I'm going to pause this because I'm going to turn on the air because I'm already sweating from the heat of talking about this. So give me 1 second. Asexual part 1. P1 and recording. Okay. Let me turn on this area now. Okay, so you are probably going to hear air conditioner in the background now. That's just what it is because it's hot. And I'm getting hot flashes lately because I have low testosterone. And apparently I get hot flashes like menopausal women if I have low testosterone. But that's beside the point. Being asexual can also affect things like that. So being asexual basically just means that you don't want to have sex all the time. Or it's not. Some people are on a different spectrum. Most people, I believe, are in some kind of moderate, they're not asexual. Now, you can be asexual and gay, asexual and lesbian, asexual and trans. So it's a little bit difficult because asexual is like the add-on. I like to call it that. I think of it more as an add-on. Whereas we talk about what someone is sexually attracted to, and asexuality is a little bit different because it's not like a LGBTQIA thing as far as to say like, oh, I'm attracted to gay people or I'm attracted to bisexual, I'm both sexes, or even transsexual versus, you know, being attracted to trans people, transgendered people. Asexuality is more along the lines of the measure of how much you want to have sex or not, or how much you have a sexual desire. So it's on that more of that type of spectrum where you can go from either being hypersexual to asexual, basically. So, and I say that because it's not shown that way very often, but that's the way to really think about it if you don't know what it is or if you never knew what that meant. So I am an asexual person. I am more specifically autosexual, self-sexual. I get turned on by myself. Okay. I mention that to say that because I also don't feel a lot of sexual um, drive, especially towards other people. So it can be rough in the world that's constantly thinking about that or talking about that or, you know, wanting that to go on around them. Like I see people, whether they're, especially I do see more gay people, when the conversation comes up about with straight people around them about sex, they kind of go like not even in a I don't want to talk about it that way, but in a I don't know if you're ready to hear what I have to tell you, or if you will accept what I have to say. Does that make sense? But it can be very much like that. Now, I also have notes here. Hold on, let me get the notes. But the most important thing when dealing with this is knowing that you're not alone. A lot of people, especially today, like if you're not having kids, a lot of people think that there's something wrong with you. Or if you're not trying to have a kid, a lot of people seem to think there's something wrong with you. At least from what I've noticed. I'm in Michigan, obviously. So, it's this Bible Belt. These people are very much back and forth on a lot of different things. There's pro-life people who are against you actually living your life. They just want you, the baby, to be born, and they don't give a fuck, and things like that. And I will do another political episode about this soon because I feel like it needs to be one. But when you're talking about not wanting to have sex that often, especially in the world full of gay people, that's the only thing they seem to talk about. That's like the only thing they seem to talk about. And it can be very, very frustrating. So if you are that person who does not want to have sex all the time, or is not like, I don't know, fiending for it, like I have like friends that I've had, they're not very into sex either. And I don't. It's not that you had the wrong person or you weren't doing it or someone wasn't doing it right. It's more along the lines of it's just not a desire. Like it doesn't fulfill me the way it may fulfill somebody else. You know, people need to understand that. Like the dopamine doesn't fire off in my brain off of sex as much as it does off of food. I'm gonna tell you right now. I would rather have sex with a sandwich. Give me some food over a man, over a woman, over anything, any day of the week. Give me food and money. Food and money. Okay. It used to be weed and money, but now I'd rather have the food than have the weed. I'm at that point. Just call me food money or money food. No, food money. So I also want to bring this up to say I also have a line of new clothing which is available that also has this your different genders and identities and things like that. Now, in addition to being asexual, there's also things called aromantic in which you do not have romantic feelings. And of course I'm going to go over these deeper in another episode. This is just the intro to this because I want to kind of make a series about this. I want to do this for Pride, but this living situation was rough. So this is just basically the intro into the asexuality series, okay? Because I'm not going to get to everything I want to get to, and I don't really want to make this like a 30-minute episode. I don't want to make this long. I know it's my returning episode, but I do not want to make this long. Okay. Point being, if you are feeling romantic attraction versus sexual attraction. Now, some people don't even know the difference. This is that love versus lust thing. Some people really do not know the difference, and it's scary to me as a person to see that, understand that, recognize that some people really don't know the difference between love and lust. Some people really, and some people, you know, it's like the think with your dick thing or think with your cooch. Some people really are like, I don't want to say they're not involved because I don't think that's proper. But they're not in tune enough to understand when their heart wants somebody, their head wants somebody, or their private parts want somebody. And I think as an asexual person, it's very, very clear to see when it's all about the privates, when it's all about sex, when it's all about the, you know, the woohoos. If you ever played Sims, you know, they woohoo. You can tell when it's all about that versus when it's about the actual person. And as an asexual person, I've seen it in other people around me, even before they tend to see it, as a person who does not, as a person who really wants more of romantic attraction first. So, and again, I'm letting you guys know about me so that you can better understand where I'm coming from and also better understand how, like, I'm using certain words when I put this stuff in words, you guys. And I'm saying that for a reason because so often, so many time so much of this gets confused by people who don't really understand what it is. And if I'm saying something and I'm doing something misunderstanding, please let me know. Again, you can tweet me, The Living Shadow, on Twitter. But I want to put that out there. So this is going to be the first part, and I'm going to go in depth and right after this commercial break. And recording this episode. Yeah, I have a real problem with sitting still lately, okay? So, don't judge me for this. If you're watching this video, I have a real problem with sitting still lately. Where's the intro? Put the intro in there now. I'll have to go back and find that later. And let me get my notes. Because I thought they were in this notebook, but they weren't. I write a lot, you guys, so. I write a lot. And don't laugh at my laugh either, unless you gotta check for me. And these are not even my notes. Those are other things I have to do. Okay, so thank you for listening to the ad, and for those who shop at the Shadow Shop, I want to thank you again for shopping at the Shadow Shop, thelivingshadow.me, thelivingshadow.me. Also, I'm adding more apparel to Etsy, so if you heard that you want to pick some things up, it's the Living Shadow Shop on Etsy. The Living Shadow Shop. That's where it is. That's what the name of it is on Etsy. You can pick up my items now. Okay, so this part of the community gets ignored, or this part really is a whole community with is several communities within itself, which is the whole reason why I'm bringing this up, because again, generally every one of those letters in LGBTQIA+, blah 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 blah, if you want to go out that far, or LGBTA, whichever, however far you want to go with it, almost every single letter in there is a whole community within itself. It has its own problems, its own issues that people try to lump together into one community. And that's really the main problem and the main issues, that people try to lump them all into one community. Or us all into one community, I should say us. The thing that I don't think people understand is that what you see most of the time is what people make fun of, what people, and it's changed over the years, but the main, I think, even caricature of even just a gay person or a lesbian is that they're usually very hypersexual, not asexual. Whereas there are a lot of people who are asexual, and again, oh crap. Coming voice call from Linda Pretty. Hold on, you guys. I'm gonna have to edit that one. Hello? Let me stop the live. I am live. I'm about to stop it though. You all would just have to check out the audio version of the podcast to hear the rest of this. Goodbye.